just purchased a new tractor. Got this one as a replacement to the old 1956 Massey Ferguson. It was just time to upgrade, get something a little newer, something with a loader on it, something that had four-wheel drive. We've got some pretty substantial terrain changes around here. If you've seen any of the dirt bike videos, you've seen the terrain change. We've got a creek down back behind the house. We've got a big hill that we've got to make it down. Four-wheel drive just comes in handy whenever we're mowing, whenever we're doing the bucket work. I just needed something that I could put a grapple on eventually. Just a few things that we really wanted in a tractor that the old one didn't offer us. So we're putting that one up for sale. Gonna be a great, you know, a brush hogging or a mowing tractor. It's gonna be great for running a box blade, great for putting a 3-point bale spear on the back of that thing. It'll be good for all that, but this tractor is just a more complete package for everything that we needed out here. So I've already put it to work. I washed it and waxed it the first day I got it, but I've already put it to work. It's dirty. You know, we have put this thing through its paces, but just wanted to get some footage of it working today so you could see some of the stuff that we do around here and how useful this tractor is for us, moving brush, clearing brush, things like that. Eventually, like I said, we would like to get a grapple, that third function on the front, so that we can grab some of the briars and the brush and things like that we cut down and put it to work that way for us. I think we'll really get a lot of use out of it, even as it is, but even more so with the grapple. So just gonna set up a camera and go to town. So hopefully I got some pretty good footage of me clearing some brush and brush hogging. My GoPro, I realized, was not recording for a big majority of that. So the shot pointing back toward the brush hog didn't really get a whole lot there. But just wanted to walk you guys around the new tractor. I am blessed to live in an area that it's a really big farming area, big farming community. We have an Agco, we have 2 John Deere dealerships, we have 2 Kubota dealerships, we've got the Kioti dealership, a Mahindra dealer, Branson, a New Holland, couple of New Holland, LS, Massey Ferguson. We have got a ton of dealers within 20 minutes drive of our house. So it really, we've got dealer support. Whether the dealers are nice and friendly and happy to see you whenever you come in is a little different story. I don't know of any specific problems with any of those brands. So whenever it came down to it, we wanted to make sure that A, the dealer had been in business and was carrying the line that we were looking at for a while, a number of years. You know, John Deere's reputation, Kubota's reputation, those companies have been around a really long time. They put out a magnificent product, and they wouldn't have such a huge network of dealers if they weren't doing something right, if they didn't take care of their customers. So the 2 John Deere dealerships that I knew of, I've got a good friend that works at one of them. But the John Deere for equivalent equipment, man, you spend a little bit more for it. Same can be said somewhat, I guess, with Kubota. You pay a little bit more because Kubota's reputation. I mean, and let's be honest. You know, you get a lot of dealers that say, "Oh, when you're comparing apples to apples, we would be the same price, but we're not apples to apples." But let's be realistic, and I'm in a sales industry, so I know the truth behind this. Sometimes you do pay more for a name brand simply based on reputation. We have a couple of companies that we sell equipment for. One's been in business, it's going on 65 years now, and one of them's been in business for 83 years. You spend a little bit more for those products than you do, say, an equipment manufacturer that may unveil something at the national show that year. So you spend more for the warranty, for the expertise, for the mere fact that this place has been in business for 83 years, and you're buying a little bit of confidence that this place isn't going to go out of business. So having said that, I shopped a lot of different tractors. I put my butt in a bunch of different seats. I wanted something that was possibly a little bit bigger than what I was on. That other tractor is rated at 32 horsepower at the PTO, which at the time was the most important thing to me, was PTO horsepower, because I run a brush hog a lot. So I wanted to make sure that it was going to run that 5-foot brush hog with ease. And from everything that I'd read, from the dealers that I talked to, from the people that know tractors and that work on them, they were about 50-50 on whether the 26, 27 horsepower was going to be enough for that brush hog, me running over the 1 to 2 inch trees down in the valley. So with them being 50-50, kind of on the fence, it pretty much made up my mind that I did not want that 26, 27 horsepower tractor, because I felt like it may eventually meet its match. It may eventually meet its limit, and I didn't want that. I wanted to be able to just run over whatever I was brush hogging, and it was just going to chop it up. So we had put in our mind, the wife and I, the kids, we all went out one Saturday morning. We went tractor shopping. We hit 4 or 5 different dealers in a row. I had hit a couple the weekend before, and days after work I'd stopped by different dealers. I'd contacted some. I contacted the Massey Ferguson website, because the dealer in our area only had like 1 or 2 models, and it just wasn't a very impressive lineup. So they got me in touch with the right people. And Massey was one of those that, you know, if you knew its history, I've got a 1956 Massey Ferguson made right here in the USA, but they have been manufactured and assembled in multiple different countries, India, England, for the last several couple of decades. So they've got a bigger presence overseas than they do here in the U.S. And with them coming back to the U.S., I don't want to say that I wasn't confident in their product. It made me a little leery about the dealers that were carrying them. So when it came time, Saturday we went shopping for tractors. We went to the Mahindra dealer, we went to the Kubota dealer a few days before that. I went to the Branson dealer, went to the Kioti dealer, and I will be honest with you, the thing that sold me most on this, not necessarily all of its features, of course I liked everything about it. It and the Branson, the Mahindra 1533, they've got controls in all about the same spots, easy enough to work on in any of these tractors. The buckets, the loaders, the weights, they were all pretty close to each other. The one thing that really sold me on this tractor, I'm going to be completely honest with you, and this is probably not fair, but I really, really fell in love with the dealer. They were the nicest people. They went out of their way to, find keys for different tractors for us to drive. They went down, they played with our kids. They were really, I felt more at home with that dealer. And whereas it doesn't necessarily guarantee that, hey, they're going to be the same friendly people in 5 years whenever this thing's only got 1 year worth of warranty left on it, and they see the videos from where I've beaten this thing like a dog. That may change, but at the moment, with all the other things being just about equivalent, they were just a personable dealer. They were friendly. They went above and beyond. They answered all my emails, all my questions. I sent them emails on Saturday and Sunday after we left the dealership, and they still answered them before Monday morning. So a kudos to those guys. I want to give a shout out. I want to mention them by name. Lloyd Trailer in Waco, Texas. If you guys are in the market in the area for a compact tractor or a trailer, utility trailers. They've got landscape trailers, they've got enclosed trailers. If you guys are in the market for anything that you pull behind your truck or a compact tractor, go see the folks at Lloyd Trailer in Waco, Texas. They are, specifically Annie and Preston, you guys went above and beyond, answered all my questions, dealt with my bratty kids running around in your showroom and in your lot. You guys did a phenomenal job, and I just want to give a great shout out to you guys. Thanks for the tractor, and now I'm going to walk you guys around this thing. So the tractor that we ended up with was the Kioti CK3510. That's a 35 horsepower tractor. It's equipped with the KL4010 loader. I don't know all the specifics on the loader. What I do know is that it came standard with the bucket level indicator. It came with the protective springs around the hoses. These were hard plumbed lines, where some of them that we looked at were soft plumbed hydraulic lines. This was, I wasn't entirely sold on the location of this bracket, but I guess no matter what you do with a tractor that's got a loader on it, you're going to have some hoses that hang down below the tractor. That scares me, especially with the stuff that I run over, but I guess it hasn't been a problem or isn't a problem because I don't see it much on the forums and things like that. It comes with a 5 foot, I believe it's a 60 or 66 inch bucket, but it's wider than the tractor is. So it does come with a grill guard standard right here. The exhaust comes out the front. I don't know if that's it seems to be pretty standard on these tractors, but I know some people complain that it blows dust up in their face. This one is equipped with the DPF filter, which I have not had to go through a regen yet. I run this thing at pretty high RPM quite a bit, so I don't know if that's going to postpone that cycle very much. I loved the position of all the controls. Everything is just really easy to get to. The loader handle being over here is second nature. You do have the sort of 45-degree sweet spots so that you can keep your bucket level while you're going up, or you can dump while you're going. Oh, it's going down. Dump while you're going down. It's got nice big handles on the fenders. That's something that the old tractor didn't have. I had to just put my hand up there on a nice hot fender. So the controls are pretty standard up here. You know, the gauge is pretty standard. Temp gauge, fuel gauge, and tachometer. It has just at 18 hours right now, a little over 18 hours. PTO engagement here. Low, neutral, medium, neutral, high. I haven't put it in high yet. There's just no sense. Parking brake, pretty standard. Just push those two forward. As soon as you push the parking brake, it's off. It does have a clutch for engaging the PTO, changing gears. You've got your rear diff lock. Now, I have heard some folks say that theirs is really tough to engage. Mine, yeah, it's fairly easy. Two-wheel, four-wheel drive. I do have this guy right here set to lower the 3-point hitch pretty slowly, just because the brush hog on the back's pretty heavy, so it'll slam down if you lower it too quickly. But you've got your 3-point depth gauge there. I've got mine set pretty standard. You got 2 little openings here for additional remotes. Actually, 3 openings here for additional remotes if you needed them. I've got my little handsaw stuck down in one of them right now. That way I can cut branches and things. It doesn't come with a toolbox, but I mounted one on the back. It's easy enough. There's a couple of different spots on the back that you can put a toolbox on it. I just bolted mine to one of the little tabs that was sticking up. Pretty easy. Fuel tanks in the back. I like that. You don't have to fill under the hood. I got a canopy on mine. I'm not going to tell you what I spent on it because I got a really smoking deal because it has a little crack in it. Let's say that this was almost free. So again, thank you, Preston. They were about to throw that away, and he said, "Hey, it's got a crack in it if you don't mind." And so I had them throw it on there. They put the ag tire or the industrial tires on it. I think it was like $100 extra option for that. That was nice. They even put a new seat on this because this was one of their aged models. It had been, I guess, at a dealership somewhere else, maybe in North Texas or something like that. They had picked it up, brought it down. The seat was a faded, and it had a couple of little pock marks in it, I guess from hail or something like that. But heck, I didn't mind, and they replaced the seat for me. So new seat, different tires. The canopy they included, they really hooked me up. So again, I wanted to give a shout out to Lloyd Trailer up in Waco, Texas, for getting me such a great bargain, such a great tractor with a whole bunch of extras that whether I paid for them or not, I felt like I got a lot of optional equipment for free. So if you guys have any questions, just leave them down in the comment section below. If you need to know where any of this stuff is, I could walk you through the entire maintenance process, but you can find that all over the internet. So just new tractor, gonna put this bad boy to work, and hopefully I'll make a whole lot more videos that you guys will appreciate.